today let's start with chapter number 9, interdependence in one. Now, you may see that whether plants, animal food, all are interdependent on in one. ठीक है? Animals food के लिए, shelter के लिए, human being food के लिए, क्या है? We all are interdependent on in one. Let's start the chapter. In May, Yadvir's college closed in summer vacation. His teacher Deepika Kumari took him and other children to the Red Fort in Delhi. वो Red Fort लेके गई उन्हें दिल्ली में. On the way, the children discussed the matter was all in one, but they could not understand with each other. Yadvir asked his teacher, Mrs. Deepika Kumari, madam, we want to understand about the nature of our environment and who controls it. और उसको कौन control करता है. The teacher explained nature is nothing but the interdependence on each other. The earth's surface has two parts. तो टीचर क्या एक्सप्लेन करती है कि जो environment is nothing but it is a interdependence on each other. The earth consists of, the earth's surface has two parts, land and water. And 2/3 part of the earth is covered with water. और 1/3 क्या है आपका land. Earth is also surrounded by air. This air around the earth is called atmosphere. We know that all living beings need land, air, water and air to survive. जितने भी living beings हैं, what they need land, water and air to survive. Various kinds of plants and animals live on all parts of the earth. Some live on land and some live on water. देखो कुछ है, कुछ land पे रहते हैं, कुछ water पे रहते हैं. Now the living beings on the earth like human being, animal, plants are biotic components. We have two type of components, biotic and abiotic. जो भी living components हम biotic components कहते हैं और non-living components क्या होते हैं आपके abiotic components. Abiotic components में आपके क्या आ जाते हैं? All non-living things like land, water, air and sunlight. What are these? These are biotic components. दो components होते हैं environment के, आपको याद रखने हैं, biotic and abiotic components. Biotic living components, living things हो गए, और abiotic non-living. Now, the environment is made up of both biotic and abiotic components. The leaves make food for the plants. And what plants needs? They need air, water and sunlight to make food. Plants also need water, which is also an abiotic component. And there is an interdependence in the plant, animal or human. भाई food के लिए, भाई देखो plant food किसे दे रहा है? Animals को. Animal food किसे दे रहा है? Human being को दे रहा है. तो सब क्या है? एक दूसरे से interdependent. All living things are divided into 4 categories. That is your producer, consumer or scavenger or decomposer. ठीक है? First is producer. Plants, leaves क्या करती है? They make their own food by the process of photosynthesis. Animal and human being do not have the capacity to make food, for they depend on plants. देखो plants अपना खाना अपने आप बनाते हैं by the process of photosynthesis. But human beings or animals, they do not have capacity to make their food on their own. So they are dependent upon plants for their food. That is why plants are known as producers of food. Plants को क्या कहा जाता है? Producers of food. Next is consumer. Animal cannot produce food. वो खाना produce नहीं करते हैं. वो किस पे depend होते हैं? आपके plants पे. ठीक है? Men भी consume करते हैं plants को और animals. Plants depend on their environment for the survival. Like plants, other living beings also need food, water and to survive. They also depend upon environment for various food we get from plant. और जो men है वो भी किस पे depend है? Plants पे जो आपको मिलता है. और plants इससे किस पे depend? Air, water और sun. देखो consumers हमारे, there are different consumers, like we have herbivores animals, carnivores and omnivores. What are herbivores animals? Animals that eat plants are called herbivores, like cow, buffalo, chicken, rabbit. These are herbivores. What are carnivores animals? Animals that eat flesh of other animals. They are known as carnivores animals, like lion, tiger. Okay? Omnivores animals. Omnivores are the animals that eat both plants and animals. For example, man. Best example. Okay? Now, herbivores, animals who survive on eating plants, leaves and any other part of plant. And plant products are called carnivores. Example मैंने आपको बताए थे, elephant, deer, ox, rabbit, buffalo. कार्निवोर्स ये सर्वाइव करते हैं बाय ईटिंग फ्लैश, ठीक है, लाइक लायन, टाइगर एंड फॉक्स. ओमनिवोर्स क्या होते हैं, तो दोनों चीज खाते हैं, प्लांट भी और फ्लैश. फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैन आर, ठीक है, बहुत होते हैं ना कुछ नॉन वेजिटेरियन होते हैं, तो उससे क्या मैन क्या है, दे आर ईट ओमनिवोर्स, वो प्लांट्स भी खाते हैं और एनिमल्स. नाउ स्कैवेंजर, व्हाट आर स्कैवेंजर्स? स्कैवेंजर्स होता है ये हमारे इन्वायरमेंट को क्लीन करने में हमारी हेल्प, ठीक है, डेड और डिकेइंग जो बॉडीज होती है एनिमल्स की उनको खाते. Some animals help in keeping the environment clean due to food they consume. These animals feed on the bodies of that animal. In this way, they help in cleaning the environment. ये क्या करते हैं? Environment को clean करते हैं, and they are called scavengers, like crow, jackal, and vulture. What are these? These are scavengers. Next is decomposing. Some microorganisms like bacteria, fungi, they are called decomposers. They break down the dead body of animals and dead parts of the plants into the mineral which they get mixed into the soil. And what mineral kya form karta hai? It's a part of food that we draw through their roots. Plants also depend somewhat on animals for their food. The men, animal, plants all are interdependent. चाहे animals हो, plants हो, चाहे फिर आपके men हो, सब क्या interdependent. What are plants? क्या है? Plants are the main source of food for other animals, and plants also depend on animals. They get minerals. इन्हें क्या मिलता है? Minerals मिलता है. किससे? With the help of decomposition. They also need carbon dioxide for making food, which is released by animals into the environment. भाई plants को किसकी need होती है? Carbon dioxide. और वो हमें किससे मिलती है? Animals से मिलती है. Always. Animals and men. What they use? They use oxygen, which is raised by the प्लांट्स फॉर ब्रीथिंग. प्लांट्स क्या रिलीज कर रहा है? ऑक्सीजन. और हम क्या दे रहे हैं प्लांट्स को? कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. तो हम क्या है? एक दूसरे पे इंटरडिपेंडेंट. नेक्स्ट इज फूड वेब. इन द एनवायरमेंट मेनी फूड चेन एग्जिस्ट. अ सेट ऑफ फूड चेन एग्जिस्ट इन अ पर्टिकुलर एनवायरमेंट. उसको क्या कहते हैं? फूड वेब. क्या food chain and the food web shows how animal and men are dependent on plants and animals, other animals for their food. We conclude from the above, all the components of environment are depend on one another for survival. It is necessary to maintain proper balance between biotic and abiotic components of environment. Now, let us find out the balance in the environment can be disturbed. कैसे जो balance है environment में वो disturb होता है. But we see increase of the population has increased immensely. Today we need more land for agriculture and housing. अब today आज के टाइम में हमें ज़्यादा लैंड चाहिए हाउसिंग के लिए, ठीक है, एग्रीकल्चर के लिए. वी स्टार्ट किलिंग द लैंड बाय कटिंग डाउन द ट्रीज इन द फॉरेस्ट. हम क्या कर रहे हैं? ट्रीज को काट रहे हैं इसके लिए. पॉपुलेशन, पॉल्यूशन, डिफॉरेस्टेशन, हंटिंग ऑफ बर्ड्स एंड वाइल्ड एनिमल्स, ये क्या है? कुछ हार्मफुल फैक्टर्स है आपके इन्वॉल्व. वॉट आर दीज आर सम हार्मफुल फैक्टर. भाई आप पेड़ काट रहे हैं, हार्मफुल है. आप पॉपुलेशन को इंक्रीज कर रहे हैं, पॉल्यूशन बढ़ा रहे हैं, हंटिंग कर रहे हैं एनिमल्स के लिए, और दीज आर हार्मफुल. एक फॉरेस्ट को आप काटेंगे, जब आप फॉरेस्ट को काटेंगे तो जो वाइल्ड एनिमल्स है वो क्या? सड़क पे आ जाएंगे और वो मैन को खाएंगे, ठीक है. दीज आर सम हार्मफुल. Now, hunting of birds and wild animals are legally prohibited. We can maintain our environment by population control, forest conservation, increasing plantation और protecting wild. आप pollution को control करो, ठीक है, forest का conservation करो, वाइल्ड लाइफ को प्रोटेक्ट करो, और क्या करो? प्लांटेशन को इंकरेज करो कि आप एफॉरेस्टेशन करो, ठीक है, ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा पेड़ लगाओ. We should also organize several kinds of programs to create public awareness for protection of the environment. Some of the programs are One Mahotsav and celebration of Environment Day. On this day, we do plantation on the grounds or side of the. हम क्या करते हैं? प्लांटेशन करते हैं ग्राउंड्स पे या रोड्स के साइड. Now, in this chapter, we have studied about interdependence of environment. Now, chapter complete. Let's quickly revise what all we have studied. I have told you how plants are dependent on animals, and now animals and human beings are dependent on plants. Okay? Now, what we have studied about different types of animals. We have studied herbivores, carnivores, omnivores. And we have divided into 4 different category producers. देखो प्रोड्यूसर्स जो प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं, लाइक प्लांट्स आपको खाना दे रहे हैं, वो खाना प्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं. कंज्यूमर, लाइक वी हैव एनिमल्स एंड मेन आर कंज्यूमर. ठीक है, वी हैव डिवाइडेड इनटू 3 पार्ट्स. कंज्यूमर्स को हमने 3 पार्ट्स में डिवाइड करा है, हर्बीवोर्स, कार्निवोर्स, ओमनिवोर्स. देन वी हैव स्कैवेंजर्स जो हमारे इन्वायरमेंट को क्लीन करने में हमारी हेल्प करते हैं. ठीक है, डेड प्लांट्स और एनिमल्स को खाते हैं, इन्वायरमेंट को क्लीन करते हैं. डिकम्पोजर्स, ठीक है, जो डिकम्पोज करता है, प्लांट्स को मिनरल प्रोवाइड कर, दीज आर डिकम्पोज. ठीक है, नाउ लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द एक्सरसाइज ऑफ द चैप्टर. टिक द करेक्ट ऑप्शन. फर्स्ट इज अर्थ इज सराउंडेड बाय एयर, वाटर, एटमॉस्फेयर. अर्थ इज सराउंडेड बाय this animal is herbivore. आपका tiger, deer, crow, or deer. They break down dead bodies and dead plants of plants into minerals. Producer, decomposer, consumer. That is decomposer. This animal is carnivores. Horse, rabbit, या cow. आपको बताना है इसमें से कौन सा एनिमल कार्निवोर है. ठीक है, एनिमल्स कैन नॉट प्रोड्यूस Animals cannot produce food, energy या plants. Plants produce नहीं कर सकते. ठीक है. Next is fill in the blanks. Plants are called dash. Plants are called producers. They are known as producer. Animals cannot make their own food. Animals अपना खाना अपने आप नहीं बना सकते. Herbivores animals eat dash as their food. Herbivores क्या खाते हैं? Plants as their. Man is a omnivore. All living things are divided into 2 categories. Four categories. Write T for true and F for false statement. Man is a consumer. Grass eating animals are called producers. जो grass खाते हैं वो producer होते हैं. False. They are also consumer. Carnivorous animals eat flesh or herbivores animals हाँ खा सकते हैं. True. Decomposer help plant in getting mineral from soil. It's true. The air around the earth is atmosphere. It's true. Next is answer the following question. What is atmosphere? A layer of air that surrounds our earth is called atmosphere. Next is name any 5 biotic components in our environment. आपको biotic components बताने. आप what are biotic components? जो living things होते हैं, men, animal, आपके birds, plants, ये क्या हो गए सारे? Insects. These all are biotic components. Which components are essential for survival of the living? Survival के लिए abiotic components is essential. What is the difference between producer? जो खाना produce कर रहे हैं, they are producer like plants, और जो consume कर रहे हैं, they are consume. जो खा रहे animals and humans, they are consume. What are the 3 kinds of consumer? Herbivores, जो plant eating animals होते हैं, carnivores, flesh eating animals, और omnivores, जो दोनों चीज खाते हैं. आपको example भी देना है. Herbivores में आप cow लिख सकते हैं, deer लिख सकते हैं, carnivores में tiger, lion, और omnivores में men और crow lives. Right? Now our chapter has been completed. Hope you understood the chapter. That's all for today. Thank you.